challenging what she does, but I'm saying we get foot traffic. There's not a lot of traffic up there at the top office. That's not a reflection on anything except the traffic comes to the mayor's office. Now, my administrative assistant is Amanda Mika. Her salary is $45,000, is considerably below what the previous mayor's secretary made. Indeed, that salary was in the $55,000 to $58,000 range. As a matter of fact, Amanda makes less than the lowest paid council secretary. Now, Amanda has the best educational qualifications of any previous secretary. Ms. Vogt, you know that because you filed a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request to get Amanda's personnel file. And you know in her personnel file, she has a bachelor's degree.
What does this have to do with the budget?
This is part of Amanda's thing.
What does this have to do with your budget?
Ms. Camp, would you ask him to please restrain himself from talking while I'm speaking? Would you ask him to do that? Thank you.
Nobody asked
she gets a master's degree.
Mayor, I'm asking you to talk about the budget.
Mr. Liss, please do not be crude as you usually are. I would like to finish speaking now. Ms. Camp, I'm going to ask you kindly to ask him not to interrupt. Okay, I want to finish. Now, she is getting a master's degree in planning in May from Wayne State University. So as I said, Ms. Vogt knows about her qualifications because she got her personnel file. She has, in effect, both a bachelor's and master's degree. I don't think any other council, any other secretaries in the mayor's had that. In addition, Ms. Vogt, you know that she has extensive experience working for the city. She has worked in the planning department, she has worked in the attorney's department, and she's worked in the block grant department. So she has extensive experience. She's worked for the city for 8 years. So she is a real catch. Now, she has improved the overall professional atmosphere in this office. Some of her varied duties include managing the office and staff, managing the mayor's calendar, and sets his schedule and coordinates appointments and events. She handles purchasing and invoice payments. She answers resident calls and assists at the counter. She handles paperwork, correspondence, and emails. She maintains the mayor's files, the contacts, records, speeches, press releases, and FOIA requests, which we get a ton of FOIA requests. She maintains the department head records, such as time off and comp time. She attends various activities and events. She is highly educated, experienced, and well-equipped for the job. And by the way, she also has a year of law school in addition to everything else. Amanda knows and understands the city departments. She has worked extensively in City Hall for 8 years. Now, the administrative technician, Kathy Lawson. Kathy's salary at $39,000 is well below the salary of all 3 council secretaries and many city secretaries. She greets residents and employees at the counter and on the telephone. She organizes and updates boards and commissions. She maintains mayor's sections on the website. She updates events calendar and other handouts for distribution at City Hall. She enters complaints for Q alerts. She maintains inventory and other office supplies and printing. She answers neighborhood complaints. She organizes and helps plan events. She scans council items and reviews agenda. Kathy is very pleasant and with the public and a hard worker. She is highly skilled at working various office machinery. She's really good at that. So that is an overview of my office people, and as you can see, they are all vastly underpaid for their skills, and they all, for the most part, make less than any other persons in the city does in that comparable position.
Thank you very much. Mr. Liss.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Fouts, next year we're looking at a projected deficit of $15 to $16 million. Does your administration have a plan to address that?
Well, the plan that we have is an ongoing plan, and that is that we are doing everything we can, number one, to cut overtime. We are also looking at other ways we can to generate more money through consolidation of various departments, which we have done and we will continue to do. We're also looking at collaboration. As you know, we have not given up on collaborating with Centerline, and I still am hopeful that that might take place in the future. Skip McAdams, my fire commissioner, who I think is here today, is looking at working on collaboration of fire service with some other cities. Police Commissioner Jerry Green is looking at collaboration with dispatch. And we're doing everything we can to look at possible ways that we can generate money and also possible ways that we can save money. I think under the leadership of the Public Service Director, Richard Sabaugh, he has done wonders in terms of cutting overtime in various areas. My executive administrator, Lou Schimmel, is working with the unions on making some substantial cuts. And by the way, when those cuts go through, I will lead the way by taking the cuts along with the various unions, as well as my department heads. But he's already worked on cutting some benefits with Local 1250, and those of you that are 1250, I want to thank you for agreeing to that, and I think those cuts in itself are going to be about $1 million. In addition, right now, our budget for this time of the year, we should be at 75% of our budget. Instead, we are at 68% of our budget. That means that we have a potential savings of 7% in the budget. Now, if that keeps up, and I don't know that that will keep up because there's still unexpected expenses, we could realize anywhere from a several $1 million savings up to a $5 million savings. So when we have department meetings, we're doing everything we can to save money, and the bottom line is build up that fund balance. Now, I know you might disagree with me on the fund balance, but we've been able to maintain the fund balance compared to some other cities. Unless you use your hometown city of Royal Oak. Let me give you a comparison.
I work there, like Mr. Stevens works for
the place where you work.
And Mr.
Liss,
works for the
Mr. Liss, would you please avoid being rude? You're interrupting me, sir. Now, if you want to ask me a question, I want to
waiting for an opportunity.
Listen, Mr. Liss. If you want to ask me a question, sir, don't interrupt me. All right. If you want to ask me a question, don't interrupt me. I'm not going to answer a question from you, sir, if you're not going to let me finish it. Now, let me finish it. The fact of the matter is, Mr. Liss, in the city where you work, Mr. Liss, they've laid off a large number of police and firemen. We, sir, have not laid off one policeman or fireman. So when you talk about a city and you talk about leading by example, your city doesn't lead by example. Although I know.
What do you think I do for the city of Royal Oak?
Mr. Liss?
What do you think I do for the city of Royal Oak? You brought this up.
Okay, I will.
What do I do for the city of Royal Oak?
Mr. Liss, I'll respond to you if you.
I'm answering your question. What do you think I do for the city of Royal Oak?
All right, I'd like to respond.
I am a city
attorney. You're asking me a question, Mr. Liss. Mr. Liss, if you're asking me a question, I'll tell you what you do. Apparently, what you do, sir, is spend all day working on FOIAs for the city of Warren. That's what you do, sir. Because
no,
we've received, yes, we have. We've received at least 50 FOIAs from you, Mr. Liss. That's all you do in Royal Oak is work on FOIAs. That's it, sir. That's what you do.
FOIA'd my personnel file there. I'm sure you've seen it.
No, I have not FOIA'd your personnel file, Mr. Liss.
Here's the question.
Mr. Liss, prove to me that I FOIA'd your personnel file. No, sir. You made a statement that you said I FOIA'd your personnel file. Now prove that to me. I want you to prove that right now. Otherwise, sir, you owe me an apology.
An apology?
You owe an apology unless you can prove that.
You have the worst budget this city's ever seen.
No, Mr. Liss. No, Mr. Liss. We have a great budget because we have a fund balance. Let me give you an example. The city of Sterling Heights, which is much wealthier than Warren, only has a fund balance of 8%. The city of Warren has an 18% fund balance. And all the surrounding cities in this area don't have a fund balance near what we do. And that's because my department heads work hard at making sure we maintain a healthy fund balance. Sir, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to a fund balance, and that's a fact. You don't. We have a healthy fund balance. As a matter of fact, I believe we have $16 million in the fund balance. Cities surround us, including Sterling Heights, which is much wealthier. And by the way, Mr. Liss, Sterling Heights got a $1.9 mil passed last year where they're generating millions of dollars that we're not generating. They also have a refuse tax that they're generating money. They also have a pension tax that they're generating money. They're generating a lot of money, and we're not generating that money, yet we're maintaining a healthy fund balance. Any city surrounding us, the city of Detroit has a negative $200 million fund balance. The city of Madison Heights has a 0.9% fund balance. We're doing darn good, sir, so quit beating up the city that you live in and look at the city where you work. Although your job has been safe as an attorney, and for some reason, I don't know why your job is safe when you're busy writing FOIAs all day. Although, for the record, I will apologize to you. Some of your FOIAs are done at, some of your FOIAs are at 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning. 4 a.m. is even after the bar closes. So I don't know why you're up at 4 a.m. doing FOIAs. That's all. That's a fact.
You want me to apologize?
Well, sir, you send me FOIAs at 4 a.m. in the morning.